I get a lot of requests to remake some Versus stuff, you know, naturally. Versus heavy, sick tear out guns. I love Welcome Tune. So does everyone else. And I remade it. Let's go ahead and check it out and we'll get into all the meat and potatoes here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going in. Yes, indeed. We got guns, subs, and we have that sustain yoi. We're going to get into all of it. Making the guns is the most important part. So I think we're going to do that first because this is what it originally sounded like. This is the patch. I resampled it to create all these guns here. They're all made one by one, and I'll show you how I did that. This is a Serum 2. This is going to be your first step to make this patch. Load up Squelchy 3. I think it is in, I think it's over here. Squelchy 3 Spectral. PD from B is turned on. You don't have to worry about PD from C. Make this LFO shape, 1/8 triplet, turn triplets on. And then we're going to do octave -2 for oscillator A. Turn the level all the way down on oscillator A. Add the LFO to it, going all the way up. And then we're going to change PD from B to 66%, and the wavetable position above it is 113. Add the LFO to the wavetable position, have it go up only 6%. And then on the PD from B, the LFO goes up 9%. That's our starting foundation. We're in octave 2, by the way. We're playing in D minor. The notes that we have here are going to be important. The first note is D2, which is down here. The next notes are going to be the 5th and the 6th. We're in D minor, so we start with D, which is the root, home, and then we go up to 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. You'll see there's a little bit of space in between each note as well. Very important that we have that. The thing is in what Verse is doing is basically like not staying on the grid perfectly. It's triplets, 1/8 triplets, yes, but then they're still shifted even more. Now I tried to make this easy, so this group right here is what's being repeated over and over. It gets repeated all the way to 24.3. Now this flow we're going to get into soon, but each one, so like these are the D above here, resampled. These are going to be the 5th, right? They match. These are the 5th. And then over here, these are the 6th. Those are the notes being played. And then that just goes back and forth as you see, boom, 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 boom. Same thing over and over. So root over here at the beginning, and then 5th and 6th. The notes we're playing in octave 2. We'll get back to the patch here. Only other thing you need to do is add oscillator B, sine wave, change default shapes to 2, level all the way down. The PD from B is going to activate this. Now this is the gun. Doesn't really sound like what we want yet. There's a lot of post-processing involved, and we have to, as you see, carve and fade these audio samples to create the dynamics that we need. Keep in mind too, there's a lot of dispersers here that are giving it that lasery, high transient attack, and you're going to want to get disperser. It's really, really big, really awesome, really fun. Now we get back to the original patch. This is the foundation, right? We're just building this up. We add a compressor, turn on multiband. We want to compress this a lot. We basically compress it too much, 20.4. This is going to go way too crazy on your left. So add a utility right away and turn it down -8 over here. We want to compress it a lot. We're going to turn down that compressed signal. We're also adding this convolver. It's on growlish. So this is just the compressor. This is without compressor. We got this weak little signal. Add the compressor, pump it up. Add the convolver to give it the metallic hybrid convolution reverb. This size, when you move it, it'll change the pitch and the tone. So you can kind of pick wherever you want on the size and make your own guns. Right now, we're at 144%, and the mix is at 95%. We add a flanger just for a little bit of movement. Mix is at 32. Nice. All we have is this utility, this army meter telling us we're way too loud, basically. The trick here is to bounce this. So if you, on New Ableton, hit bounce track into place, which is the same thing as like freeze and flatten, we're going to do that. So I'll bounce track into place and it'll create this. You can also, I'm going to hit Command Z. You can also hold Shift, click on these, highlight them, right click, and also bounce to new track. So we can kind of preserve the OG. It gets deactivated and then we have the new one ready to go. Now look at the difference in dynamics here. These are like big, chunky, and then these ones down here are faded a lot. So that's kind of the goal. Now, if you see down here, these are shifted to the left. They're starting earlier. So what I did was I basically cut these up. I'll hit Command E to make splits, and then I'll be able to fade these sounds like this. I'll fade the beginning too because I don't want any clicks, and I'll make my own guns. I want to make them short and choppy. The whole goal here to make these guns is short, choppy. Because after we get this, then we'll process it more, turn it up a lot, add the dispersers to get into the guns that we want. Just like the foundation here. Cool. So if I delete these, we basically have two different pitches. So I'm just remembering all the different pitches. These ones sound different than these. I just want to organize them. I can even color them so I know what is what. Then what I did here, so if you see, this speed is different than this speed down here. So I went ahead and faded them a lot and then started to move them based on what they look like from there. So see all this empty space? We don't really need it. So I'll hold Command, drag this, and move it to the left. Same thing with the other one. I can even chop this one, fix the fade, and kind of make something like this down here. Same thing with these, you know, kind of just scooting them closer together. The timing on this doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing. With Versus, it wasn't perfectly on the grid, and it's kind of giving it that swing. This is the gist of it. You can be as creative as you want like this and make your own offbeat flows. We're sticking to the 8th triplet mainly. We're just kind of shifting it off grid a little bit and creating something unique, which is what you hear here. Once I resampled it, I added a utility right away to turn it down to -8. And we'll go ahead and build this rack from the beginning. This utility I'll use. If I need to turn it down, I will, but for now we're going to leave it at 0. And then I'm going to turn off all this post-processing so we can go one by one. You can kind of hear how this works. This signal will turn down -8. Now, once you add these dispersers, you're going to kind of turn up the pinch with the amount over here. We kind of want them close to the middle, both of these knobs. Now, we're going to choose notes that are in our scale. So A is the 5th in D minor. So I'm choosing A. D is home. F is the 3rd. And we got another F here. So we're just choosing notes. I'm kind of staying above octave 3 as well. I kind of want these to be a little higher so it affects more frequencies. And that's how I'm doing these dispersers. So that's 1 disperser, 2, 3, 4. Hear that sound start to pop. Listen to if I have a lot. That's exaggerated. We just don't want too much. We're doing it like that. OTT is going to pump up the signal a lot. I turn the downward compression 34%, turn up the out gain to 8.6 dB. Really pulling that up and making it fat. Keeping that beef. I want to add more convolution. So add the convolver. I can kind of pick anything I want here. I just went into glitches, hit Genesis blink, and I move these playheads so I can get a shorter decay time. So this is 65 milliseconds. This is 130 milliseconds. So I can tighten up the reverb. Mixes at 38%. Before, after. So this convolver can do a lot, and I can just easily change. And get all kinds of new guns as well. Convolution reverb really helps with making these. This EQA is just measuring and seeing what's going on. All right, cool. So the shifter we are using, so on my original one here, you'll see when it's going bump, bump, I'm kind of pitching this one to go up. So it's on frequency mode. I use the fine knob and I automate it so that one of them is regular over here, and then this one is like getting pitched up. Just for that little pitch up. We're doing the same thing with the sub, by the way. So that's why that shifter's there. So that's like kind of adding movement with the pitch. Just keep that in mind. That's why that shifter is there. So let's go back here. High pass chillin'. This is also important when we're listening to the original. This has lows playing. So look at the EQ right here. We're keeping the original lows, but then we cut all the lows when the drop comes. So these still have the lows because there's no sub playing, but as soon as the sub starts playing, we cut the lows. So all these lows are now cut right here so that it can play with the sub. This is really loud, so I add soothe. It reduces all these frequencies. It helps a lot in cleaning up this. It's still too loud when I measure it on the left meter, so I use this compressor to just reduce some loud peaks. I move the threshold to -4. When this line moves, that's the gain reduction, so that's how much is being turned down. It's kind of balancing out the sound. This G clip is just to finish it at, make sure it doesn't go past 0. And this is at default settings. One really important thing is that this is grouped. So this gun that we're working on is grouped with the sub. So what you're hearing is like a heavily processed version of what's going on. Cool. So that's how we're going to make this gun rack. That's the post-processing involved. We're going to resample, we're going to fade, we're going to chop, and we're also going to pitch. So like, look at these. I pitch it up +6. I pitch this up +4, pitch this up 0. I'm calculating the pitches so I can go up to the 6th, 5th, 3rd, and make sure that I'm in key. And we go back here, we're at home. So I'm like always paying attention to home and moving around my notes and going back home. So everything is in key. Awesome. Now let's listen to what this sounds like. Now, if you hear it, the sub is like fat. Everything's like getting pushed a lot. We also have this rack here that is for the reverb. So this is dry. This is wet. This reverb rack is really cool. You get an EQ8, 2 of them. We're basically cutting the highs. We're doing a low pass. This is our lows chain. And if you solo it, it's just catching lows. This highs. This also has EQ8s, cutting the lows and doing high pass. And we add the reverb only to the highs chain. So reverb is hybrid reverb and convolution. 1.45 seconds of decay, made for drums, digital drum plate at 29%. So this is doing a lot. It's making it wide too, and it's only on the high frequencies of the gun. Remember, this group is on the gun and the sub, so that's why we're doing this separation rack here for lows and highs. I don't want the reverb to be on the low frequencies on those subs. So that's why everything looks like this. We're good to go. We're going to minimize this. And we're going to turn everything off because this G clip is what I want to show you here. So this G clip is turning it up 4.7. Listen to when it plays with the sub. It's really quiet at first. So you turn the G clip on and you turn it up 4.7. And you get that thing fat. And then we make it wide and full with the reverb rack. Using these to measure, this final G clip is just stopping it at 0. So I'm constantly measuring. I'm trying to stay in -3, -2 luff range. I don't want to go past that, really. So yeah, that sub is being pumped up a lot by that G clip. Saturator's on this sub at 13 dB, 83%. We turn it down -3 dB just to get it mixed perfectly. And I'm using the LUFS meter to make sure it doesn't go past -8. We're at -9. -8, that's our goal. This is super simple, just a sine wave, level turned all the way down, add this LFO to the level, and make this shape. Make sure you have this little silence at the end. Pitch bend range has to be 12 and -12, and then we're going to automate it. Hit configure, click on this pitch bend, click configure again, and then this will show up so that you can automate it. This is what the pitch bend looks like. So it's root note for the first one, and then it goes up a little, then root up, root up. That's the little movement we're doing with the sub. And also remember the gun is doing that too with that shifter. So they do it together. Let's go ahead and listen. So this is the fake out. Just one kick to set it off. So this next section is just the fake out, but now with the sub. The sub is following, so 5th, 6th, 5th, 6th, has little silences in between. I had to manually move these as well. So like I would zoom in like this, click on one of these, hold command, move it left and right, and I would look up in the arrangement up there and kind of line it up perfectly, well, as close as I can get, and just do it one by one manually, because they're not perfectly on grid. So I'm just like, you know, getting them as close as possible. The drums though, keep everything perfect on grid up here. So it's important that these sound decent with your drums while they're playing as well. This call bass is just me chopping up a lot of them kind of at random, fading them a lot, making sure that there's enough to play. I don't want to fade them too much. And then it goes super fast, and then 2 regulars perfectly on time right here. So that's the call bass essentially. And right when the snare hits, all these Avant packs are affiliate packs, so they'll be in the description if you want to support me and get some good drums. You can get these claps and kicks and rides. You can get a lot of them. These are the main packs I use, so get those packs. And then in my Patreon, you'll be able to get this full project and all these presets too. So look in the description for that. Cool. So we go back. After the fast triplets, we go back to regular ordered note gun chops. Gun chops go a little bit faster here, and we have the sustain popping out. This is how I EQ'd it to turn up the lows, turn down some of these muddier frequencies, turn it down by -3, added a saturator, 8.6 dB to really pump it up, and 51%. And we have 2 sine waves. Look at the note first. This is going to be octave 0, D0. So our root note, octave 0. 2 sine waves and a sub. On the sub, turn the level all the way down, add this LFO to it, put it on this wave. We're on 4 bar, and we're also doing this curve down at the end. That's how it closes out. Very cool. So oscillator A, level all the way down, add the LFO to it, turn on PD from B and turn it up to 45%. Oscillator B, do plus 12 semitones or 1 octave. And that's what we're pulling in. Filter is high notch 12. Put the cutoff on 82, res on 63, frequency on 21. Add the LFO to the cutoff and go up 25. Add it to the frequency and go up 17. Add distortion. It's all about this down sample. So as soon as you turn this on, you'll get everything. So drives at 51% on the down sample, and then turn multi-band compression on, gains at 15.9. And then you can just change this drive to make new yoys whenever you want. So But that's really fun, and you can have fun with that. Pretty easy yoy. You know what it is with the yoy. That's about it. Rhythm drums are rhythm formation, guns are stacked up, reverb, pretty simple techniques, and you get a really fat, big sound. Remember, if you want this project or any of the sounds in my Patreon, you can get that below. If you have any recommendations for future videos, put that in the comments as well. And keep it fresh, guys. Thank you for the support. We are 200 subscribers away from 10,000, so we're about to go super hard. Let's go. Peace.